Hello everyone, welcome back. Zargot here. So I just wanted to kind of let everyone know what's going on with this draft video. I guess despite getting all the new equipment in and all the new software and everything, we're still going to have some video problems from time to time. So that leads me to believe that the issues I was having with my laptop in the past probably was just issues with just the recording in general. So what I'm talking about is essentially the third round of this particular draft. The data corrupted. I'm sure you've heard me say this before if you watch my videos. The data corrupted. You couldn't hear or see anything. But luckily, not too long ago, I did figure out that you can go back and just replay the rounds on Magic Online. And although it's not a live match replay, you're just kind of going turn by turn or play by play. It still does show you the flow of the game and what happened. So I went ahead and just re-recorded the third round and just provided my own commentary there, just kind of let you know what happened. So that way you can see the round and it's not a total loss. Because I thought the deck was fun and I enjoyed, especially round number 2. Round number 2 was fantastic. Really good round. Had a lot of fun with that one. But anyway, I won't spoil anything. But that's what's going on there. And just a heads up to everyone, if my voice sounds a little weird now or in the video, I've been sick for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days. Still kind of getting over it. So I got the whole throat and nose thing going on. So if I sound a little funny, I do apologize. We're getting better now. So hopefully that won't be a thing in the upcoming videos. Anyway, today we're going to be jumping into a Rivals Ixalan draft. Hope you're all going to enjoy watching the picks. Hope you're going to enjoy watching the rounds. If you do, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, let's see what we got in our first pack here. So our first card is the Arch. That's our rare. We haven't played with this card, but I mean, it's definitely pretty powerful. Being able to draw a card late game. Pretty strong ability there. I also like Sadistic Sky Marcher. I mean, a 2/2 flying lifelink is pretty good. More times than not, it's going to be 4 cost, but I mean, that's still fine as well. Hunt the Week's a good green card. Moment of Craving's very, very strong too. The Augur is also decent. Again, that's a card that I like when you have something you can shuffle. What's the best card in the pack? I mean, Moment of Craving's very strong. I know this is a common, so I probably would end up taking the Sky Marcher over a Moment. And I do like Hunt the Week a lot as removal as well, but I like that more once I've got a couple creatures that are a good target for it. We also could just take the Arch and stay open and not necessarily say, hey, I want to grab any particular color right now. And this does go in every deck. Okay, let's take the rare. Maybe that's the weaker pick, but I mean, I've wanted to play with this card, so that'll give us the opportunity to do that. Okay, and now we've got... Okay, well, there's an Impale here, so I feel a little bad about passing a Moment and the Sadistic. But there's Impale, just a strong piece of removal. It's also the Forerunner of the Legion, which is pretty strong as well. Just a good vampire here. Outside of that, Recover's okay, Artisan's alright, Glorifier's alright. Once you've... Artisan's fine if you're in green. Glorifier's good if you're in vampires. Tuscadon's a great red creature, but I'm not going to pass up on an Impale here. So perhaps we should have taken the Moment of Craving or the Sadistic. Ooh, this is a pretty strong pack here. So someone took a rare and then a common, or maybe this had a foil uncommon or a foil rare. So it's Legion Lieutenant, which is extremely strong. It's also Raging Regisaur. I've taken Raging Regisaur pretty highly in the past, just because it is a strong card, but I felt like that to be kind of a trap. There's been a few times where I've picked this card and it just hasn't been fantastic. Okay, it's a 4/4/4 that does a damage. That is a fantastic card. But you get it, and then if you feel the need to play red-green just because you have the Regisaur, you can really miss out on a good deck. So the card is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But I feel like taking it highly probably isn't a good move. It's a good payoff card, if you've already taken 2 or 3 red or green dinos. So here I think it's either Impale or Legion Lieutenant. Kind of a tough pick. I mean, Legion Lieutenant is fantastic. So maybe we just grab that here, see where it takes us. And no vampires at all. So if we'd have taken the Impale, we wouldn't be taking a black card from this pack. Legion Lieutenant, it is what it is. And it's still early in the pack. We may still see some dinos here. I like Kitesail Corsair. I think this is a good card. I'm not going to take a Recover here. You can also take a Raptor Companion. just a fine white card if you do want to be black-white, try to do vampires. Best card in the pack is probably Pioneer or Corsair. I like both of these pretty well. Neither one of them goes with our Legion Lieutenant. And we haven't seen any crazy blue cards yet. Or green cards. So maybe we just take the Corsair. I do like black-blue. Yeah, I'll just take the Corsair here. Okay, now we've got a couple blue cards here. Still no good black cards just yet. Dead Man's Chest and Dark Inquiry are, you know, I've never seen anyone play with this. It seems kind of like a hard card to build around. Dark Inquiry is an okay sideboard card sometimes. For white, we could take the Sentry or Divine Verdict, which is fine. But I like the Corsair, and there's also a Deadeye Rig Hauler, which goes pretty well in the black-blue decks, where you're just trying to kind of control the board, or just with blue, period, you know, where you're trying to control their bigger creatures while getting in the air. It's also Expel, which is good. Possibly Expel is just better here. Yeah, let's take Expel. I think you see a lot more of these Rig Haulers. Okay, and now we've got Mausoleum Harpy, which I do like having one of in my black decks. It's also a Mutiny, which is kind of late, but you know, not a super fantastic powerful card, but it is good removal. But more times than not, it usually kills your opponent's second best creature, not necessarily their first best. But Mausoleum Harpy, this is a pretty late pick for this. Definitely not going to pass that up. Okay, and here, just a very underwhelming pack. Best card in the pack is either Sun Sentinel or Swaggering Corsair, probably. I'm not going to take Swaggering Corsair. Sun Sentinel, maybe. But we have a couple blue cards I like, a couple black cards I like. So maybe we'll just take a Sea Legs. Or we also could take Woodland Streams. You know, if we end up playing blue, black, and maybe want to splash a green card. Okay, we'll take Woodland Streams here. We'll see another Sea Legs. Probably wheel one from this pack. And here we have the Majestic Dino. I don't care for this card unless you got a lot of big dinos. Maybe then it would be okay. And we could take the Canal Monitor. It's pretty underwhelming. We could just take the Gleaming Barrier. You know, if you're looking to be, you know, more of a control deck with flyers, that's okay. And it is fixing. You know, your opponent has to kill it at some point if they want to get through on the ground. Yeah, I'm not going to play this Dino, and Canal Monitor is just okay. We don't want to play this Gleaming Barrier either. See, there's another Sea Legs, and a couple of red cards, but all pretty underwhelming. So we'll probably just go ahead and take the Sea Legs here. And let's go ahead and sort all this out. Okay. So this land's going over here for now. We don't know if we're going to be playing that. Legion Lieutenant probably not going to be a thing, but we'll see. We're still pretty early in the picks. And we'll just get our sorceries and everything over here. Okay, and Sea Legs, we'll take you. And now, so here's another Sea Legs. These always tend to come around. I don't think we would play 2 Sea Legs. I mean, if this card gave a pirate +2/+0, I would. Well, this would probably be uncommon, I would think. But I would probably take this pretty highly. But here, there's a freebooter for just a medium red card, Gruesome Fate, Gleaming Barrier. I'm probably not going to play any of these cards. There's a Gruesome Fate, but here's a Spiral Winder, which I think is a very good 4-drop. Pretty easy to get this if you're playing black-blue. If you get treasure tokens, pretty easy to get this up to a 3/4. What are you doing here? Alright, come on now. Okay, and then here, we could take Release the Wind. This is okay if you get something like Chupacabra or, you know, something that you want to reoccur. Probably not going to play at main deck, though. Alright. A lot of medium red cards. So, not a crazy good start. I mean, honestly, we could abandon black. We could abandon blue. This is a pretty bad start for us here. Then we have this pack. So, there's Reckless Rage, which I love, and this is a good piece of removal. It's also a Sprinter, which I like, as well as a creature. Bard is a good piece of removal here. I mean, for black, this Fathom Feet border, not super interested in grabbing that. Sworn Guardian, definitely not going to pick that card here. Mastermind's Acquisition is pretty good. This allows you just to, you know, basically be able to get a card from your sideboard, or just pick your bomb card out of your deck, so you kind of have 2 copies of your bomb. We don't have a bomb right now, so I don't know how highly I want to pick that. Maybe we just take Bombard. We could splash it off of Sailor Remains. Yeah, I think that'll be the pick here. Why don't we just take Reckless Rage? I mean, it is cheap. It only costs 1, and maybe it's better for a control deck. We don't have anything that synergizes with it, though. Yeah, we'll just take the cheaper red card. That's fine. Ooh, okay. We'll get a Baffling End. It's also Spirewinder, Crashing Tide. You know, get some vampire action here. Well, we can take Crashing Tide. I mean, I do like our blue cards. This is another blue control card. We just take the Spirewinder, which is the type of cards we're looking for. Baffling End's very strong too, but I mean, we're not seeing a lot of good black cards. We may put our opponent, or excuse me, the person we passed to in pack 1 into black, just because we did send them a couple good black picks, the first couple cards. We take Riverwise Augur as well, but we don't have anything to search our deck with right now. Yeah, I think we'll just take the Spirewinder. It's just a good flyer. Okay, here's another Crashing Tide. It's also a Grasping Scoundrel, another Woodland Stream, Fathom Fleet Border. I mean, we're pretty light on creatures here. Maybe we go ahead and just take the Border. And maybe we'll wheel one of these Crashing Tides. We do need some creatures for the deck. I wouldn't mind a couple more of these cores. Seeing those. Another Legion Lieutenant. Another Spirewinder. Deadeye Rig Hauler. Seeing all these Legion Lieutenants, but just not seeing the Vamps to go with them. I mean, we could take the Protean Raider and splash it, especially if we're trying to splash Reckless Rage. That's not too crazy, and we may still be able to wheel one of these Deadeye Rig Haulers. Yeah. And we may not be black. We may be blue-red here. Let's take the Raider and just kind of see where this goes. Yeah, I do like the Raider. Siren Reaver, there we go. Ooh, it's also a Water Knot. It's a little bit of a tough pick. I think I'm going to take the Siren Reaver, though. If we can get a couple more cheap flyers, or just early creatures, being able to play the 3-2 on turn 3-2 flyer on turn 3 is pretty strong. So yeah, we're going to grab this here. Although Water Knot is very, very strong. Slippery Scoundrel, that's a good one. See some more Jungleborn Pioneers. A lot of Hunt the Weeks in this pack, or in these last 2 packs. Yeah, Slippery Scoundrel I like. This is kind of fits the theme, you know, flyers and hard to block creatures. So we're going to grab this. Plus, the ability to have hexproof is fantastic. And not a ton here. Such Legion Zealot. Maybe we'll just take this. It is a 2-drop. It does get us into our deck. You know, it gets us 1 card deeper into our deck, and it was a chump blocker as well. So go ahead and grab that over the Mistcloak Herald. If I had a piece of equipment, I'd take the Mistcloak here, but I'd rather just have you know, the card advantage. And now we could take another Fathom Fleet Border or Dinosaur Hunter. I kind of like having 1 Dino Hunter in the deck. We also could take Crashing Tide, but I think we're going to wheel that one of the first 2 Crashing Tides. So let's take the Dino Hunter. I like having at least one of these in our black decks. There's another Border. We can go ahead and take that. Actually, I think we're going to take the Highland Lake just because I would like to play the Raider and the Reckless Rage, and this is going to help us out with our mana. Yeah. Plus, we haven't seen any Sailor Means. We have a couple Gleaming Barriers, but that's not a for sure splash card. You know, if you're playing against unblockable creatures, flyer creatures, or just lots of small creatures that are never able to kill it, you know, you end up with an 0-4 that, you know, never gives you that treasure token. All right, let's just combine everything, see what we're looking like here. And what have we got hanging out over here? Another Gleaming Barrier. At least to win. I mean, we do have 1 Equipment Strider Harness. I mean, it is +1/+1. It's a little expensive. I wish it cost 2. Release the Wind. Anything for release the Wind yet? I don't think so. Not really. What have we got here? It's a late Dreadmaw. We take the Augur. This is fine. Maybe we'll get something to shuffle with. 1 Augur is going to be okay. Do we have any Merfolk? Nothing quite yet. Oh, this is a pirate, right? Yeah. I can take this. And we're not aggressive, so the Scoundrel, I mean, it's good if you're aggressive, but we're not really an aggressive deck. So maybe we just take the incursion in case we pick up a couple merfolk. Rig Hauler, Spirewinder, River Augur. We have 2 Spirewinders. I think I want at least 1 Deadeye Rig Hauler in the deck, and our 4s are getting pretty heavy here. I don't want 2 Augurs. Sworn Guardian, okay. That might make that might be one of our 2 drops. Not gonna run 2 if I can help it. Okay, so interesting. You know, we're pretty light on creatures. I want a couple more 3s, and I wouldn't mind 1 kind of big payoff creature. I do want to play the Reckless Rage and the Raider, though. The Raider's good because it just allows you to, you know, just make a copy of your opponent's best creature. And what have we got here? Call to the Feast would have been great with all the Legion Lieutenants. For us, I mean, this Skullduggery, it's Unfriendly Fire, but the more red cards we take, the worse our red splash gets. Not going to take Cancel. I guess we can just take Skullduggery. That is a pretty weak pick. I mean, it's also Windstrider. But for removal, all we have right now is Impale and Reckless Rage, which I would cut Reckless Rage if we get enough cards in blue-black. Let's just take the Skullduggery. I mean, this is an inexpensive card. It allows you to kind of double up on spells in a turn. Yeah. Insight. Savage Stomp. 1 is Scoundrels. Mark of the Vampire. Can we just take this pack and finish our deck up? I mean, Bloodletter is really good. Scoundrels is very, very good. Lookout is great. Mark of the Vampire is great. Overflowing Insight. I actually like Overflowing Insight. I don't know if it's too slow for our deck. We really don't have any ramp or anything here. Maybe we should just grab, you know, the good 3-drop, which is either the Bloodletter or the Lookout. I'm inclined to take the Bloodletter just because it's more consistent. It's always a 2/2. It always nets you a life. The Lookout does Explore. But sometimes, you know, you draw a land and you've got a 1/2 flyer on turn 3, which is not great. And we also can just take the 1 of Scoundrels, just a big creature early game. Or Mark of the Vampire. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I think I want to take Mark of the Vampire here. Yeah, I want 1 Mark of the Vampire. Just because we've got all these flower and evasive creatures, I think it's going to be really good in our deck. I could have been the wrong pick, but I think it's going to be good for us. I don't really want to play this Augur. Okay, what have we got here? We got Depths of Desire, Fathomfleet Cutthroat. We could take the Cutthroat. We got a lot of 4s. I do not want the Cutthroat. Let's just take the Depths of Desire. It's a bounce card. It gives us a treasure token. Helps us with some of our fixing. Favorable Winds? Ooh, no, wait a minute. We got Sailor Amines. I think that's going to be the pick for us. Favorable Winds. Affects Corsair on the attack. If we had a few more flyers, it would make sense. But I think here, Sailor Amines is what we want. It's a big blocker. It gives us a treasure token. It's a late Growing Rights. Although I guess this card isn't as exciting as it was earlier in the format. Maybe we just take the Windstrider here. And we could take Blightkeeper. It's an early flyer, but we don't have anything to put on it other than Mark of the Vampire. And you're a lot of turns away from that on turn 1. But I like Windstrider. That's another big flyer here. And that's going to be our 23rd card, so... River Sneak? Is that a thing for us? I mean, we don't have a ton of merfolk. This is basically going to be a 1/1 unblockable for 2. Kind of underwhelming, doesn't really affect the board that well. Although, you know, if we do play all these Gleaming Barriers, maybe it's something. The Dire Fleet Interloper is okay, but a lot of times, you know, this isn't one of those cards that, for a deck that's looking to be more controlling, I don't like it as much because it's just not as consistent. Sometimes you pay 4 for 2/2 menace, which just gets double blocked by anything. I guess we can just take the Sneak here. Yeah, we don't have to play it. Plunder, Cutthroat, Queensbase Soldier. Probably going to take the Queensbase Soldier just so we have 1 more 2-drop. It's pretty important to have at least 5 or 6 2-drops. And Sworn Guardian is not a fantastic 2-drop here. Nobody's playing Boros. What else we got? Another Windstrider? Probably not. Maybe just take the Duress for the board. I'm not going to put another Witch Rider. Our 4s and 5s are really high. We really need to cut something here. Probably the Augur. Take the Duress, though. And take a cancel. I think we can play 1 Mountain in this deck. And we're going to be pretty good for our Reckless Rage and the Raider. And the Raider, it just has Raid, right? Yeah. Okay. For a brief moment, I remembered it having haste. I guess that would be pretty broken. Copy your opponent's Galta and then swing for the win. Well, I mean, we can splash stuff, so we don't have any enchantment or artifact removal. I mean, we could just take Dual Shot. This might be a good splash if our opponent's playing a lot of, 1 toughness creatures. Or take Crushing Canopy. I mean, Dual Shot's probably going to be easier to splash, so we'll just grab that. Sure Strike, Rummaging Goblin. Okay, I'm not going to play any of these cards. Okay. Nothing coming in the last few picks here. A lot of, I mean, red was pretty open, but nothing seemed overly powered in red. I felt like some of the better cards were the cards we picked up, like Reckless Rage, the Raider. We didn't get the Unfriendly Fire. But I think Reckless Rage probably was the better card there, just because I mean, it does do 2 damage to one of our own creatures, but it's cheap, so it does allow you to cast this and a creature on a turn. You don't necessarily have to hold all your mana like Impale does. You have to hold up. This is your turn 4 play, or or your turn 5 play, and then you can't cast anything. But sometimes you cast Sailor Means and you have Reckless Rage up. And then you can take out one of their creatures without having to sacrifice a whole turn for it. Okay, so, alright, this is not part of our deck. So we're at 23, we have the 2 lands. Come on. We have the 2 lands. Is there anything we want? What are our creatures like here? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6. We have 6 2-drops. Do we want the Sworn Guardian or just another Gleaming Barrier? Because we are looking to basically just get out Corsair, Slippery Scoundrel, our flyers here. So maybe the Sworn Guardian just doesn't matter. This doesn't block 3/3s either, or 3/2. So maybe we play the Gleaming Barrier. Excuse me. Plus Gleaming Barrier I like because even if it does die, it still is adding 1 to the board with the token for Ascend. For Ascend, all we really have, well, actually our flyers here are super important, and then the Harpy is going to make a big difference. We have 16 creatures with this fire, so we don't want to cut any more creatures. I mean, we don't have to cut anything actually. Mark of the Vampire. Is there anything we want to play? Do we want to play the River Sneak? I mean, it is an unblockable. What would we take out for it? We'd have to take out something like Queensbay Soldier. Release the Wind. I don't think got any value for our deck here, unfortunately. We got a couple pirates, so the border shouldn't punish us too much. We got Sailor, Slippery Scoundrel, Corsair, Dinosaur Hunter. Dinosaur Hunter is a pirate, right? Human pirate, yeah. Reaver's a pirate. So we have a few Rickholler. I think we have enough to where that's not going to be a terrible 3-drop. Do we want to run Duress main deck? Probably not. I don't think we need Cancel. So I guess really the only questionable card is River Sneak. Do we need it? Do we want it? I don't think so. I think River Sneak, if you have a couple Merfolk, if you have 3 or 4 Merfolk, at least, then it's worth playing because you'll be able to swing in for 1, and then some turns you'll be able to get in 2 damage. But I think as it is, without really having any of those interactions. Now, Sea Legs, we want to run Sea Legs? Sea Legs will keep our Corsair from getting blown out or traded with for a 2/2 flyer. It also lets us possibly block a 3/3 with Dino Hunter and save our creature. Also shrink some of their bigger creatures so that maybe we can keep blocking with Gleaming Barrier. And they can help some of our flyers get through some of their bigger flyers. Or at least not, not get killed. I think the Arch is going to be good. The Lakes, so we have to play 1 mountain. I think this is going to be the deck, so let's go ahead and add some lands here. Not going to play 3 mountains. That's not going to happen. For black, we have 1 double black card, but we have a lot more blue than black. 3 of our 2-drops are black, though. So we have 8 blue sources, 7 black sources, 2 red sources. And we can make 1, 2, 3, 4 treasure tokens. And for card draw, we only have the Dutch Legion Zealot. I think it's going to be okay. I feel a little light on black. I would like one more black source, just because we do have them pale. But I can't see us going to 7 blue sources. For black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the first 3 turns. And for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, it's a little light, but I think we're going to keep it the way it is right here. I mean, the only thing that punishes us is Impale. And we don't have to play this on curve. This does not have to be a turn 4 card. We can certainly draw into it later or hold it up for a bigger creature late game. We have the Arch to draw. I think this is going to be okay. Let's go ahead and add this to the deck. Okay, so this is going to be our black-blue flyer control deck. Not super controlling, you know, we actually didn't get any of the Crashing Tides back. I really thought we were going to wheel one of those just because we'd seen so many. But anyway, this is going to be the deck. Let's go ahead and save this, and we will see everyone back in round number 1. Alright everyone, welcome to round 1. And looks like we're going to be on the draw here. And we've got all of our colors. We've got Sailor Means, we've got Harpy, we've got Skullduggery. You know, we don't have a 2-drop, but this is probably a fine keep. Let's see what our opponent's doing here. Yeah, I mean, this will probably be fine. We have Skullduggery to interact with early creatures. You know, once we drop Sailor Means, you know, we'll go ahead and keep. And then I just like Mausoleum Harpy, just a good creature here. And it's nice to have all your colors. You don't have to worry about that for the rest of the game. Prying Blade? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, perfect. And there's Reckless Rage, which we can't really cast right now, but that's not a problem. So we got plenty of removal. You know, if our opponent goes crazy here. 2 planes and a Prying Blade. This is interesting. Well, this is good for us that our opponent is slow playing, because we really don't have much in our hand except for Sailor. So they're doing Vampires. Maybe they just wanted some equipment. That's a lot of Conquistadors with a lot of Prying Blades. And this does make them a treasure token whenever it does damage to a player. Okay, and how many of the Legion Conquistadors are they getting? Maybe 4. Maybe they fill their hand back up. Just 1? Okay, it's fine. And so we got all the removal in the world here. We're going to hold the mountain for now. Go ahead and get Sailor out. Just send this back to our opponent. So playing Conquistador, they only have 2. I usually like to have 3 or 4, but sometimes you just want some extra Vampires in the deck. Sky Marcher, that's decent. So we can play Mausoleum Harpy this turn. This costs 2 to equip, right? Yeah. Let's see. So we got Gleaming Barrier. So we can play Mausoleum Harpy, and then they have Sky Marcher. That's going to put the blade on. They're going to swing. We also could just play Gleaming Barrier and hold up Reckless Rage. Go ahead and kill the Sky Marcher. I don't mind them getting a treasure token, to be honest. Maybe we'll just take 3. We can play the Harpy this turn, and the next turn we'll be able to have Reckless Rage up, Skullduggery. We can play the Barrier. I think it's probably more important to go and get the Harpy out. I'm not really too worried about them getting a treasure token. Yeah, I think that'll be the play for this turn. We have a blocker on the ground. I don't think we're going to get punished for this. Although they could be splashing the Prying Blade, because maybe they're 2-color, 3-color. Excuse me, maybe they're 3-color deck. I don't know. I suspect it's just a good piece of equipment. I mean, if you have a bunch of these 2-3 flyers or the 1-3 flyers, you know, Prying Blade's going to be pretty decent. If you have 5 or 6 flyers in the deck, that's fine. You know, that's still one more equipment that's always going to be able to stick to your creatures. Okay, so it's going to get in for 3. We're definitely just going to go ahead and take it, no problem. Okay. Only downside to playing the Harpy a turn early is that we did lose our treasure token, but I'd really get the Harpy on the board. Let's see what our opponent's got here. So they got the treasure token. Are they splashing anything? And Hammer Skull. Okay, well I think we probably found our target for Reckless Rage. Actually, we don't even have to do that. I'm going to play our mountain here. We can just play Gleaming Barrier. Then we have Sailor of Means and Gleaming Barrier up. But they'll be able to start getting in on the ground. I mean, we could also just Reckless Rage the Hammer Skull. I don't think we need to attack here. I think we hold up Skullduggery. Maybe our opponent will attack. Maybe we can block the Sky Marcher and then Skullduggery. Does that really even do that much, though? Not a lot. Of course, our opponent they only have 2 cards in their hand that we don't know about. I mean, none of the plays seem fantastic. Maybe we just go ahead and Reckless Rage now, kill the Sky Marcher, play out the Gleaming Barrier to start attacking. That's probably fine. Yeah, they're tapped out, so we can go ahead and let's go ahead and Reckless Rage now. Okay, just get that off the board. And they'll probably just play the Zealot and then maybe the Gleaming Barrier as well. Go ahead and get in for a 3. I like just go ahead and play the Zealot here, just getting 1 deeper into our deck. Corsair, that's pretty decent actually. So I think worst we can take 4 here. We'll be able to block one of them. If we really want to, we can block one with the Dust Legion Zealot. Or we could just play Gleaming Barrier. Then I'm just going to tap down the Sailor of Means. They'll swing with both. We're going to take 2. So I don't really think we need a chump. I think we'd probably just play the Corsair here. And then next turn we can hold up all this removal on the Gleaming Barrier. It's probably fine. It'd be great if our opponent just played the Conquistador and passed. I'm assuming they're going to equip Hammer Skull and swing. Tap down the Sailor of Means, swing with both. Not going to trade the Corsair for the Conquistador. We might chump block the Hammer Skull with the Zealot though, because we're kind of on the flyers playing here. We do have 5 in the air. Ooh. Okay. That's a thing. Well, that we're probably going to have to impale. Yep. So we take 5, go to 11. That's probably fine. Then we can leave the Dust Legion Zealot around for the Vampire token. If we draw a land will be pretty good here, actually. Well, Siren Reaver isn't bad either. Unfortunately, we kind of need to impale this card, or else it's just going to take over the game. Let's just get our attacks in first. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a shame. So we can impale the Conquistador this turn, or we could swing with the Harpy, the Corsair, get in 5. They go to 15. Then we play Siren Reaver and Gleaming Barrier. And if we attack with both, we can block the 3/3, take 2. That seems fine, actually. That seems fine. And then next turn we can impale. I know they're going to keep getting life off the Squire's Devotion, but if we can, I want to just get some more creatures on the board. Yeah, that seems better. Kind of maximize what we're doing, and then next turn we can hold up. We'll have Skullduggery and impale. Plus, this allows us to make trades on our turn. We'll have Ascend. Yeah, we'll swing with these 2. Opponent's just going to take 5. They don't care. They're going to gain 3 on their turn. Now we can play the Siren Reaver. and then the barrier. Alright, we got plenty of blockers now. And we got a lot of flying power. We have, what, 8? 8 in the air. And anything they want to attack with, I mean, I'll gladly trade the Zealot or just chump some damage with it just to put a 1/1 counter on the Harpy. And they only top down one of our big guys. They'll probably tap down Sailor Means. And they swing with both. We can block the Conquistador with the Legion. Hammer Skull with the Gleaming Barrier. If they send the Vampire token in, we'll gladly just trade the Legion for that. They could have Slash of Talons to take out our Gleaming Barrier, which isn't a big deal just because it's another treasure token. So if we draw a 2-drop, maybe then we could Impale and play a 2-drop on this turn. I'm really curious, is our opponent just a straight white deck here? Or are they stuck on a couple of black cards and maybe they didn't think it was necessary to play it with their treasure token before? I don't know. Suppose we will find out at some point. Because our opponent's evaluating what they're going to do. They got a lot of life gain and they got some control with the Hammer Skull, but we do have quite a bit of power now. Maybe they're adding up how many counters the Harpy's going to get if they start swinging with everything. Brian Blade, yep. Yeah, that will probably go ahead and block with the Zealot. Yep. I'll gladly trade this for 4 points of life. And I get a +1/+1 counter as well, which is a good thing. Okay. And now I think we have to go ahead and we'll go ahead and swing first, just see what they have. I don't think we get punished for that. I don't think there's any cards going to get punished. So they might Slash of Talents or something here to take out the Siren Reaver, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, then we go ahead and Impale this guy. Okay, go ahead and lay a land, and we got Skullduggery up if we want to block something. We could always pump one of our creatures. Okay, yeah, they just didn't have too much there. Alright, well, we'll have to see if our opponent is playing, you know, something that maybe they just were cut off the other color. Anything we want to side out here? I mean, we didn't see too much from our opponent, just a couple small vampires, Hammer Skull. I don't think we need to make any changes right now. I think our deck's fine as is. I mean, Dual Shot, would that do anything? Not really. The only thing we saw was 1 token. So yeah, we'll just send this back as is. Okay, so this is a slow hand. It's a pretty slow hand. I mean, we're on the draw. We got all our colors. We do have Rig Hauler and Harpy. Maybe we can keep this. Our opponent didn't seem to be especially fast. It's a pretty loose keep, but they weren't overwhelming, so we'll keep it. They really didn't do anything for the first 3-4 turns. Alright, well, I guess we'll get to see a little bit more of their deck this game. And we draw a really slow card. Okay. Legion's Landing. So I need to have 3 attacking, right? Okay. And that isn't... This isn't the end of the world right here. I mean, it's definitely an annoying card to deal with. But it's not impossible. And they're not playing anything. So we'll go into the lake out here. Send this back. It'd be great to draw Sailor Means this turn. Our opponent's just getting, you know, a little bit of card advantage here. But they have a landing and they haven't played any more creatures yet. Do they have another land? Oh no, mana screwed. And we're just getting flooded here. Alright. Well, we're not doing anything, our opponent's not doing anything. Okay, they are white-black. Okay. So now we can watch out for all their synergy cards here. Let's see what they've got. Okay, well they're not Squire's Devotioning, which probably would be silly anyway. Take our damage. And what have they got? Conquistador? The Hammer Skull. It's pretty decent. So... I mean, we can play the Rig Hauler. They're just going to tap it, and we're not going to get to bounce anything. I don't think it does a lot, to be honest. I mean, we're going to take 3 here, but I kind of like... I just don't think the rig collar does anything. They're just going to keep tapping it with the hammer skull. It doesn't do anything at all. We're just send it back. Next turn, I mean, if they don't go crazy here and play anything too ridiculous, it'd be great if they played nothing this turn. If they don't play anything, we can just Wind Strider after they attack next turn and block the hammer skull. Paladin the Bloodstained. That'd be kind of bad for us. Might be too much pressure to deal with. Skullduggery takes care of that pretty well. Wow, I think we're going to lose this game. I think we are going to lose this game. So we're 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. We're going to go to 8. They're going to get to flip Legion's Landing. There's nothing we can do about it, even if we had played the Rig Hauler. Actually, I take that back. If we had played the Rig Hauler, this turn we could have Skullduggery the Rig Hauler to pump, and then kill the Revenant, and they wouldn't get to activate the Legion's Landing this turn. So maybe we should have played it the previous turn, just as a potential future blocker, especially since we're on the Wind Strider plan for this turn here. Okay, so now we'll play the Wind Strider. See if we can block the Hammer Skull. We might be too far behind at this point. I'm going to take 4 here. Go to 10. And then we have Skullduggery up next turn, so we can kill the Revenant and pump our Strider. So even if they play a big creature here, we'll probably be able to block it. We also can just attack with Strider, use Rig Hauler to bounce a token or whatever they're going to play here. Yeah, we'll probably bounce that. What do they show us here? Forerunner? Ooh, that's pretty good. Too bad we don't have any big mana sinks for this deck. And what are they getting here? Voracious Vampire? Okay. Okay, so let's see. We have access to 6 mana. Don't think we can attack with the Wind Strider this turn. I think we're going to play the Fathom Fleet Border. Could just play the Harpy. Maybe that's the play. Yeah, I think we're going to play the Harpy here. If we play the Harpy, we can block the Forerunner, we can block the Sky Marcher, and we have Skullduggery for the Revenant. That's probably the play. Let's go ahead and get the Harpy out. This is going to be tough for us, just because the Voracious Vampire is coming down. We can start Deadeye Rig Haulering next turn. We spent way too many turns playing land, though. What have they got here? Ooh. Okay. I would love if they gave that to the Revenant. Way too many triggers. This may be way too hard for us at this point, just because they're going to get a trigger from the Forerunner. Now they get the Anointed Deacon. We need to draw something to deal with the Deacon right away. Although, actually, this might be good for us. Let's see what they've got for attacks here. Okay, so we can... First, we're going to give the... Okay. What are we blocking first? Alright, so... I think we're going to have to take some damage here. We'll block the Wind Strider against the Sky Marcher. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade one of our creatures for this Vampire token. You know, we're going to have to take 3 here. So that's going to be our block. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and Skulldugger. We're going to give this +1/+1 and this -1/-1. Our opponent's going to gain a ton of life. But if they don't have a trick here, we're going to take 3. We're going to get... Yeah, we got 2 other flyers off the board. They're 31. Ooh, does that do anything? Interesting. Huh. So we actually can play the Deadeye Rig Hauler and the Protean Raider. So what happens if we do that? We can... Does that do anything? I don't know if that even does anything. We can copy the... Harpy, I guess. Okay, so let's swing with... I think we swing with the Harpy here, then we can play the Raider, copy the Harpy, and play Deadeye Rig Hauler and bounce the Deacon. That way the best they can do is attack the Vampire token, and maybe we'll just block with the Rig Hauler at that point. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll have 10 permanents on the board, 11 permanents actually. Yeah, that's probably our best plan. Then we'll have a couple of 4/4s. We can start blocking these 3 1s till we get something to take care of the Deacon. Okay, so we're going to go Rig Hauler. Go ahead and bounce the Deacon. Now we have Ascend. Oh, we can play the Raider. We'll copy the... Yes, please. Go ahead and copy the Harpy. And that's our turn. See if we can get some work done with this. Now we can trade the Rig Hauler for a Vampire token. Doesn't seem great, but it does put our Harpies in a situation where they can start blocking any of their 3/3s. Of course, the Forerunner is going to make this a pain because now they're going to be able to get an extra +1/+1. But that I'm not too terribly worried about. I'm really worried about the Deacon. That's got to go away. And then maybe they're just waiting to alpha us with this Voracious Vampire just to cut down our defenses. I mean, we've got plenty of blockers now, so I'm not too worried about that. Probably need to play a little bit faster here. I suspect that we're going to lose this game just because our opponent's got a lot of ways to pump their tokens here, gain a lot of life, you know, and then make more tokens. And we're a little short on time, so we'll probably have to keep an eye on the clock here. Well, at least our opponent didn't snap any plays off. So, gonna make a token, or are they playing the... Okay, they're making the token. Gonna give +1/+1 to this, they're gonna give it Menace. Okay. Oh, actually it gets plus... Ooh, okay, okay. Actually it gets really big. It's a lot of extra triggers. This is +4/+4. I mean, we're going to have to block this with the Windstrider and the Rig Hauler. I don't think we can take 4 damage since they have a Menace creature on the board. Doesn't feel great, I'll tell you that much. We're going to have a Rig Hauler hanging around after this. Okay, got a couple triggers though. We do have better blockers now. I think we can get rid of all these. Would just love to draw and pale. Well, Dust Legion Zealot. That's a thing. That's a blocker. Non-land. Well, it's a non-land, and we can play everything. Okay, so let's see what happens here. They can play the Deacon, they can pump the token. It's going to be a 4/2. We can block that with the Zealot. So now we can swing for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we can send in the Rig Hauler as well. Look, it was 3 blockers. I think that's what we're going to do here. Attack, attack, attack. Yeah, because they can, if they want to block with the Forerunner or the Voracious Vampire, I'm fine for trading Red Color for either one of these. Or if they just want to chump it with the Vampire token, that's fine as well. They're probably just going to take the damage. They have a ton of life. Okay. Hopefully we don't get terribly punished. If they have a piece of removal, they might be able to kill us here. Maybe we should have held the Rig Hauler back. But I feel like if we don't start putting some pressure on our opponent, that they're just going to run away with this game. We're never getting through on the ground. That's the problem. They're always going to have life and tokens. So you play the. So I guess their dilemma is they can play the Deacon, but the turn they play the Deacon, they can't make a token. Although it does immediately give them a 4/2 life linker, which they can just, sacrifice just to get 4 points of life, put themselves back up to 25. Or they can send in the Voracious Vampire. We're going to have to block. Well, right now our blocks are pretty good for that, though, because it'll just be a 3/2, excuse me, a 5/2 we can block with the Zealot and the Queenspace Soldier. It'll die. They won't gain any life, and we'll have 2 5/5s. Ooh. Well, that makes things different. And we have to be careful as well, because this right here will trigger the Forerunner as well. We really need Impale at this point. We need to get one of these, the Forerunner. We need to get this card off the board. No attacks. Excellent. Hey! Okay. Alright, so if we play Impale and kill the Forerunner, is that better or worse? I mean, if we take, I mean, they have the Deacon. Yeah, we're gonna attack with the 2 Harpies. We know that. Let's go ahead and get our 2 attacks in. I'm gonna swing for 8. Keep the pressure on our opponent. I think we Impale the Forerunner. Okay, you got a 3/4. Are you gonna block? Okay. Now on their turn, we can take 2, 3. Oh no, we just killed ourselves. No, we didn't. I forgot about the Deacon here. This is a flyer. What are we doing? We're gonna have to Impale this. All right. I suppose we're probably gonna have to do that anyway if we wanted to keep in this game. Well, if our opponent attacks a lot of creatures, we can make our Harpies huge. That was just a whiff. That was terrible. Although I guess it was probably better to go ahead and Impale it, because after this turn it's going to be so big it's going to kill one of our creatures. One of our Harpies. The only ways we're going to be able to win this game. So I suppose we're probably not going to be able to kill the Forerunner with Impale anyway. We could have held back one of the Harpies this turn. Swung for 4, they would be at 17, which is really high life total. And then they play the Deacon. That becomes a 3/4. It becomes a 5/4. If they make a token, well, they can't make any other tokens. So it's a 5/4. They swing. We block with the Harpy. Harpy dies. We would have Impaled the Forerunner though, so it would have only been a 4/5. It still would have killed our Harpy. Yeah, so I think maybe we did have to kill the Sky Marcher there. Yeah, because the Deacon's going to pump up a token or something, but all that's going to do is make our Harpies even bigger, which are going to give us better blockers and give us more damage in the air. So yeah, even though it wasn't misplay, I think that probably was the right play to. I felt like it was a misplay, but I think it was probably still the right play to kill the Sky Marcher, just because it's going to be the one creature we weren't going to be able to deal with long term. Because our opponent's doing some math here. They're thinking they can play the Deacon. They'll give a Vampire token +1/+1. They're going to give it +4/+2. Or excuse me, +2/+0. Oh! Well, I don't think they should have conceded. Yeah, if they would have played the Deacon, this would have been a 2/2. Then it would have been a 4/2. They swing. We block with the Queen Space Soldier. They gain 4, get a 17. We can swing for 10. They get a 7. The next turn they can do the same thing. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? I guess our misplay scared them. Anyway, all right, so that's going to be it for round number 1. We'll see everyone back in the next round. All right, round number 2. Looks like we're going to be on the play here. Yeah, we'll be on the play. And we've got Spirewinder, Windstrider. We got all of our mana again. It's another slow hand, but we don't know what our opponent's playing. This is all of our flyers here. We've got all of our mana, plenty of mana to cast any spells we draw. So, you know, not an exciting keep, but I think we'll go ahead and keep this. It is nice to keep getting all of our colors, so can't complain too much about that. Excuse me. Alright, gonna play against some more vampires, or is this gonna be merfolk? Alright, merfolk or dinos? 2-drop, Queen Space Soldier. No. Okay. No problem. Although Sailor Means, not gonna lie, Sailor Means would be fantastic this turn, especially with all of our Ascend creatures. Black-green, so... Are we playing against someone that actually has an Explorer deck here? Do they have the Chupacabra? Huh. Interesting. Alright. Ah, this keeps happening. Okay, well, send it back. We're going to take 1. Maybe they're going to play Branchwalker here. Or maybe we got lucky and they missed a land drop. I find that very doubtful, though. Okay, take our 1. So they don't have an Explorer creature. So they don't have the Wayfinder or anything like that. They do have Relic. Okay, that's fine. So it ramps, but it didn't do anything this turn, so we're looking okay here. So we can go ahead and get a Windstrider out. Followed by, excuse me, a Spirewinder. Followed by probably the Windstrider. It's going to be a little more impactful. Plus we might be able to sneak and eat the Wildgrowth Walker if we swing with the Winder next turn. Of course they're playing, you know, we could be playing Hunt the Weak or Castaways. Oh, and it's actually an attacker. Okay. Not a bad deal. Doesn't get to our defenses right now, so that's fine. We're pretty much going to be telegraphing Windstrider. Do they have the Explorer creature this turn? Gleaming Barrier? Hey, it's fine by us. We're not a ground deck, so I think that's going to be okay. Although they do have a lot of synergy being able to play their Castaways. So I'm not too worried about playing Siren Reaver this turn. I actually would rather go ahead and get in with the Spirewinder. Hold up Windstrider. We're going to play the Mountain, actually, to keep our opponent guessing. Maybe that won't make it such a telegraphed play for the Windstrider. I mean, I would assume that my opponent is going to play Windstrider here. But you never know. Maybe they'll think we're holding up a Unfriendly Fire or something like that. Now, if they don't play an Explorer creature, we probably will block the Walker. Heartstopper. Okay, that's going to be a damage every turn. Same with both. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and play the Windstrider. And they could have a pump spell here. I mean, they are playing green. I think we'll go ahead and block the Walker, though. Just because I don't want this thing to get out of hand if they do have Explorer triggers. Nah, they got a pump spell. Give it +1/+1. And cycle. They took it. Interesting. So what do they have? Maybe they have Hunt the Weak? No, that would just trade. No, I'm confused. I don't know what they have. Well, I'm happy to get the Walker off the board. I'll definitely trade 1 point of life to get that out of here. Oh, they're just going to pounce. Oh, great. That's perfect. We got the 2 for 1 our opponent. Excellent. I like it. I get a bunch of life. And they get to draw a card. But they're down to 2 cards in hand. And all they have is a Heartstopper. And we got a lot of action on our hand here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to go ahead and just attack with the Windstrider. I'm going to play the Reaver. And just lay a land, and there we go. I mean, our opponent's a little bit ahead in damage, but we got a lot of flyers here. And we'll have a send next turn, so we're going to have a lot more power on the board. If we can just get through this turn without losing a creature. Recover, so they're going to get back... What are they getting back here? Okay, they must have Explore cards in their deck. There's no way around it. Okay. That's fine. You're going to attack with the Heartstopper, I assume? No. Alright. You know what? Misplay. I can't believe I clicked through too quickly. We're going to lose a point of damage now. Alright, so keep that in mind. If we lose this game and our opponent's at 1, we did it to ourselves. Okay. Yep. So it should be at 13. So shame on us. Get your fingers off of the S button. Something big. Revenant. That's a pain. Alright, top deck Skullduggery. That would be fantastic. Okay. Our opponent's burned through their hand. Are they searching for another color? Nope. It's just a ramp card. I don't know why they're not attacking with the Heartstopper. No Skullduggery. That's not a problem. We can actually just attack with the Windstriders. We'll hold the Reaver back. Not too terribly worried about it. We're going to take 6 here. Go to 8. And if we do draw Skullduggery this turn, then we can kill the Revenant and swing for lethal. Unless they... Ooh, okay, so they got a lot of ramp and a lot of fixing cards, but I haven't seen a third color. So either A, they're not playing a third color, they're just looking for ramp, or B, they just don't want to show it to us because they're not feeling great about this game here. Swamp, okay. Anything else from our opponent? They should definitely be attacking with the Heartstopper. I still don't know why they're not attacking with that. Because they're missing points of damage. We should be, you know, 14 or 15 here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we can swing with everything, but it doesn't kill them, even if they block. So we're going to swing with these. They may block here. They might just take it. Kind of need to block, especially since we have 4 cards in hand. No blocks. Okay, well, we're doing pretty good considering we have drawn 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of our 17 lands. Okay. Looks like so it looks like we got way too many lands, but fortunately we got a lot of good flyers. Our opponent just got, I mean, nothing. How many lands did they get? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 lands, but they searched for 1, 2, so they got 7 lands? That's not too bad. Okay, so black-green, maybe they have some Explore in their deck. I'm going to assume they must have it, because why would they recover this card if they didn't? They have 1 Revenant, nothing too crazy that we've seen anyway. So anything we want to side in here? I'm going to leave Dinosaur Hunter in, definitely. Gleaming Barriers, those are probably fine. We could put in a Duress. Maybe to get rid of, you know, Pounce or Hunt the Weak, something like that. Well, they're playing black-green, so maybe we can put in Duress. Is there anything we don't want in our deck? Anything that's not very good against them? I mean, I like having Gleaming Barriers just because they're playing green. You can snap off 3 power creatures pretty easily. I mean, the Zealot's just a blocker. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's anything we need to side out. I mean, unless maybe it's Sea Legs, but even then, nah. I don't think we got to see really anything that gives us any reason to have to sideboard here. So let's just send this back. See if our opponent can get a less flooded hand, and ourselves as well. Okay, now here we go. Finally a bad hand. So we have all of the blue and red. We have all the red. And we have lots of blue. All we have is 1 bounce card. We need a swamp to be in business here. But if we don't draw a swamp, we are just going to die. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. Yeah, because we kind of have to draw a swamp in the first 2 turns to be able to play the Hunter. If we don't, the best thing we can do is bounce a creature. And what is the payoff for keeping this hand? The Harpy? I think we just mulligan this. Better and worse at the same time. I guess we'll keep it. I think we're going to put this at the bottom. We'll keep it just because we have the Gleaming Barrier. I mean, we have blocks, so that's the reason this is probably better than the other hand. Oh, Spirewinder. Okay, there we go. There's some debate, maybe we should have kept that island on top. But not any longer. So I'm going to play the Queen Space Soldier since they haven't played a creature yet. If they don't play one this turn, we can start attacking. Or if they play a 3, you know, something with 2 toughness, we'll go ahead and attack anyway. What do they got here? Ooh. Okay. Well, we're not going to be attacking. We'll be playing the Gleaming Barrier and start building up our flying defenses here. Yeah, just Gleaming Barrier. That's a shame. Well, the Jungle Creeper I'm not too worried about. It takes 8 mana to become a real pain, to where you can block, play, and return each turn. But even then, you know, I have to believe that you're better off casting other spells. I mean, it's still a great card. You're gonna, on turns where you don't have anything you want to do, Path of Discovery. Now that's gonna be hard to deal with right there, especially with Jungle Creeper. So we don't want to be trading. No creature. We can play the Border. We don't have another pirate though, but we're not gonna not play a creature this turn. So we got to get this out here. We're gonna take our licks from it and just go ahead and pass it back to our opponent. We need the land. We need a land so we can get the Spirewinder out. We got to start attacking in the air, because Path of Discovery can make the game turn pretty badly. Although our opponent's not doing too much right now. That's good. Gonna play a 2/2. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Well, not the land we wanted. They have 1, they have 3, 4, 5 mana sources. We could swing. They're just gonna block. It's just not worth it. Send it back. And with the Spirewinder out next turn, they're gonna start slamming us for 3 each turn. This is when you want something like Water Dot. You put it on that creeper. Ooh. Interesting. Forerunner of the Empire. Huh. So I guess they do. So they are playing 3 colors, and they just didn't want to show it to us first game. So this is going to be kind of a pain. It's a 2/4. Although we can block it. We can block it with our Border. We can block the creeper with our barrier. What dino are they getting here? Huh. Alright, well, now I see what all this deck's about here. That is going to be pretty hard to deal with. Yeah, that's pretty hard to deal with. Tetsamok's pretty much just you know, game over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can't even. It'd be great if we could expel the Jungle Creeper on top of their deck. That would be fantastic. No blocks. Probably going to lose this game here. Just Tetsamok's is too strong. Let's see. We can swing with the Border and play the Reaver. Any creature we play is just going to get killed by Tetsamok. That's the problem here. And we actually don't have another swamp to impale anything. Although we'd have to put something on the board to put pressure on our opponent here. So yeah, I suppose we're just going to swing with the Border. Yep, opponent's going to take the no damage. I guess we play the Reaver, just because the Spirewinder is going to be better for us long term. And this gives us somewhat of a clock. Not a very good one because they have Jungle Creeper out. But you know, they're going to need some reason to use Tetsamok or play it. Because if not, we're just losing the game as it is on board. They don't have to play it. They can just keep beating on us with Jungle Creeper. Okay, and it's going to tap out, put counters on everything. So they have access to 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. They don't have 7. If they had 7, I would assume next turn they'd probably just play the put a counter on Queen Space Soldier and then play Tetsamok. No attacks from our opponent. Interesting. Okay, well I'm not going to play anything if they're not going to attack. Counter on the soldier. Yep. Now they might board wipe us here. They're going to swing for 5. Okay. They have to do 1 damage to all creatures, which doesn't really do anything right now. We do get a treasure token out of it, so now we have Impale up, so we can kill Tetsamok, which is a good thing. But we're going to take 5, go to 10, then we'll take 5, go to 5. On the following turn, we could bounce something. All right, just resolve all these triggers, please. Oh, and that's right, they got to explore. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take 5. There's nothing we could do about it. Actually, we could expel the Jungle Creeper here. That's probably what we're going to do. Expel the Creeper, Impale the Tetsamok. We're only going to take 2. Alright, we're getting a plan together. Take our 2. Give us a land. We actually really need some lands here. Ooh, that's a land. Alright, now we're going to Impale this guy. We have just no hope. Well, hold on. So 6, 7, 8. They attack for 8. We go to 5. They're going to play the Jungle Creeper. We have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. We could play Corsair and Spirewinder. I think it was 8 only 8 permanents though. And then we can block the Forerunner. So we'll take 6, go to 7. We have the Corsair in play. Next turn we can Rig Hauler the Jungle Creeper. No, next turn we're still gonna have to Impale the Tetsamok. Okay, let's do the math on this. So if we play Spirewinder and Corsair, we're gonna take 6. Go to 7. Then we untap, swing with Corsair, Impale Tetsamok, hold back the Spirewinder to block the Forerunner, and then take 3. Go to 4, and then we need an out to get rid of the Jungle Creeper. We need something for that. Or we can Impale this now, go to 11, they play Jungle Creeper, untap, we play Spirewinder, Corsair, they swing a Jungle Creeper, we go to 8. Yeah, I think we have to Impale this now. It just saves us more life. Oh, actually I didn't even think about that. We can Impale and play the Corsair. Yeah, that's definitely the better play. Because then next turn we can Rig Haul the Jungle Creeper. Perfect. So now we go to 11. Of course, we don't know what else they have in their hand, so... They have all the lands in the world. And the Jungle Creeper is actually going to be a 4/4, so we have to make sure we factor that in. They're going to get a lot of Explore triggers, so they're going to keep burning through their deck. Gonna Alright. GG. Yeah, that's a recover target if I ever saw one. Counter? Yeah. Jungle Creeper. Let's see. How do we beat this? I don't think we can, tell you the truth. Do we have? I don't think we don't even have a way to kill Tetsamok. We have Impale. That's kind of it right now. Yeah, I just don't think there's anything we can do at this point, unfortunately. You know, that card, was it a Silent Gravestone? Is that the one that exiles the graveyards? Wouldn't be terrible against this opponent. Might would even consider sideboarding it in. I can't remember if it draws you a card or not. So they've got red sources, so they can splash Forerunner, so they can find Tetsamok. Yeah, seems completely fine to me. I probably would do the same thing. I'm going to play the Rig Hauler here. I don't think it matters too much if they see that we have that. Let's go ahead and bounce the Creeper. I just don't see a way out of this just because of what is in their hands, unfortunately. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Send it back. Okay, they're going to draw their card, gain a bunch of life. Is they put a counter on our Rig Hauler, play Tetsamok? Are they going to slow play it? I mean, they have control of the game. They don't even have to play it this turn if they don't want to. Okay. Round 2. Yeah. Alrighty. They have to do a damage, so that kills the Corsair. And they get to explore. And they kill all of our creatures, and they get a 6/6 Death Touch. They get to draw land. Pretty good. Yeah, I think this is over. Let's see what we draw, but I really don't think there's anything we can do at this point. Land? Come on. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's just concede. It's just not going to happen there. Alright. They've got the big bad dino. Let's see. Do any of these exile? That just discards. Maybe we put in Dark Inquiry, you know? I think I'm going to take out Sea Legs and put in Dark Inquiry. Just because we can play this, you know, on turn 5, see if our opponent has it. Excuse me, not turn 5. We can play this on turn 3, see if our opponent has it. Turn 5 we already would have known because they would have been putting counters on our creatures. Or if they use the Forerunner, you know, and then they want to get greedy and tap out and put counters on all of our guys, we can Dark Inquiry. They do have the Recover, which is unfortunate. I mean, we could also put in Cancel. You know, if you counterspell a Tetsamok, it doesn't get to use its ability. What will we take out for a Cancel here? I mean, because that's just flat out, that's the card that's going to kill us. When they play it, you die. So having two answers to it might be good. Dinosaur Hunter blocks it, kills it. So that's going to stay. We could take out Expel. It's kind of a, you know, medium card. Doesn't do a lot. Alright. Don't know if that's going to help us here, but we'll give it a go. See if we can not get Tetsamoked for another game. We will definitely be on the play. Please and thank you. And a couple 2-drops. Rig Hauler, Barrier. This seems okay. Not a fantastic hand, but this seems fine. Smolg until you get the big dino. Yeah, that's definitely one of the broken cards in this set. A lot of people say that it's just the most broken card. I think it is, to be honest. I mean, it just completely wipes your opponent out. There's nothing they can do about it. You slow roll it, and then your opponent can't play their creatures. Because why would you? They're just going to get Tetsamoked. Wild Walker, okay. Our Wild Growth Walker, yeah, that's the thing. And I suppose we could Depth. I don't think it matters at this point. Probably just play the Barrier just because we have a blocker in case they do explore. Which we didn't see a lot of explore from them. It's possible they just have it in because of Path. Yeah, no attacks. Also, I mean, a 1/3 for 2 is fine if you're just trying to slow the game down so you can get to your big stuff. Yep, like Gleaming Barrier. Well, not like Gleaming Barrier, but Gleaming Barrier is going to be their blocker. There it is. All right, so we got 3 turns to draw some stuff we need. Spire Wander is not stuff we need. We're going to play it, however. Because we don't know that our opponent is going to be able to draw 6 lands right away. If they don't hit all 6 land drops, that's good for us. We definitely need to hit... A Cancel would be great. Gleaming Barrier, yeah, we won't be killing those. They're on 4 lands. And put counters on the rest of our creatures. Okay. Too bad you can't Depths of Desire land. What happened to a good old Boomerang? That would be great. I would love to have Boomerang right now. Protean Raider. Alright. Wouldn't attack with Spire Wonder. Depths doesn't draw us a card, so I'm not going to bother playing that. Hey, First Blood. Although it doesn't let us play the Raider, but there's nothing I really want to copy right now. Crushing Canopy. Okay. Slowing us down. They didn't hit their land drop, so good. Corsair. Yep. Gladly play Corsair. And we haven't seen Forerunner or Red Source yet, so we don't have to worry about it taking them 1 damage. Excellent. Our opponent's whiffing on lands. Okay. I think I am going to Depths that card. Just slow them down. Plus it gets us 1 closer to Ascend. Ooh, okay. Now that is an excellent draw. So go ahead and get an R2. And we can start drawing cards now. So that's probably the best thing we could have drawn to try to get us to one of our 2 answers. Alright. There's the Revenant. I think we're going to go ahead and draw our card. Come on, give us cancel. Gleaming Barrier. No! That's not going to do anything. And then counter on the Corsair. Okay, whoop. My phone going off there, sorry. And we do land. That is going to do nothing. So just attack with the Corsair. They're probably going to play Tetzimoc this turn anyway. Alright, so what do we do here? Are they going to play the Tetzimoc? Probably. It's a shame. Our next draw is probably cancel. I mean, there's really no reason for them not to play it. Oh, of course, if they don't hit the land, which it's looking like they didn't. Excellent. We got 1 more turn. Okay. Take our 3. And we're going to go ahead and draw our card. Another land. It's not good. We don't want those lands. Take our 3. I'm really not worried about taking this 3. It's the big guy coming down that I'm worried about. Nothing to search for land, please. Gonna pounce. Yep, nothing we can do about that. Harpy. No, thank you. So we can pay. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 3 up. So I guess we draw the card now because if we get, what is it, Dark Inquiry, we could discard it from their hand. And all we're going to take is 3. So let's go ahead and draw the card. Slippery Scoundrel. Blah. That is doing nothing. I guess we just play the Gleaming Barrier here. At least we can get some treasure tokens if they do Tetzimoc us. Come on, 1 more turn, no land. 1 more turn, no land. Come on. Alright, 1 more turn, no land. This is definitely a nail-biter. We're getting beat down in the air from the Revenant, unfortunately. So that kind of stinks. Oh my goodness, it's brutal. They didn't attack. I wonder why. Maybe they just clicked through by accident. Well, we're going to draw the card. Swamp. So we have access to 3 mana. I guess we can play the Scoundrel. Can't actually do anything about the Scoundrel, so we have one creature they can't affect, and we're only 7 attacks away from killing them with it. And they whiffed on land again. Okay. Path of Discovery. So we're going to send 3. Yep. We could be doing all this stressing when our opponent might just have Recover in hand as well. Come on. What do we got here? Oh my goodness, so much land. I'll draw the card. Okay, well that's an answer to this Revenant. So I guess we can play the Lake. Yeah, I guess we just play the Lake and swing for 2. Our opponent's definitely winning the race right now. But at least we have Skullduggery up. Still no land for our opponent? I guess we're drawing all of their lands. Yeah, I think we have to go ahead and get this off the board. We can't keep taking 3 from that. Best case scenario, Skullduggery heals a 3/1 flyer. It's pretty good. Jungle Creeper, no problem. And they get to explore. And they got a mountain. Okay. Well, they don't need that. So this is our last turn to draw an answer to Tetsamok. And this guy's going to start getting really big with Path of Discovery. There we go. See if they have Recover as well. Boneyard Parlay. Oh my goodness, look at this hand. Oi. Alright, we're going to discard Tetsamok. So, this game is slipping away. Yeah, at this point, I don't think there's any way we can win. Just because they have Wild Growth Walker, Path of Discovery, so every turn they play 1 creature, they gain 3 life. We can only swing for 2 right now, and they're getting ready to play a 7/7 Trample. On top of all the creatures they have here. Plus, this is getting bigger each and every turn it attacks. Good thing is we can block Dinosaur Hunter against the Dreadmaw. We're going to take a ton of trample damage from it, and the barriers are good blockers for now. But this Wild Growth Walker is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And thank goodness our opponent hit a land with the Jungle Creeper, because they can just be blocked with the barrier from now until the end of time. Let's attack with everything. Okay, let's see here. So we're going to block the Creeper, we're going to block the Walker, and I guess we're going to take 4. You know, we should have played the Queensbay Soldier. That's a kind of a mess up on our part. We could have double blocked the Veteran. Got a 10. Play the big guy. Yep. Oh, okay. So, interesting. All right, so let's see here. We can attack with the Scoundrel. Opponent takes 2. Now we can play the Protean Raider. Copy the Dreadmaw. Right? Then we play the Rig Caller. Go ahead and bounce the Dreadmaw. have 4 left, 5 I guess. We go ahead and play the Harpy. Alright, that's our plays. They got the parlay, which honestly there's not a lot in the graveyard right now. At this point it would probably just be Tetsamok and Corsair, and then Revenant and Spirewinder. Nah, that seems terrible. Actually, either one's going to be fine, yeah. So what are they going to do here? Go ahead and parlay? Yeah. We do have Impale, so... Be Corsair... and Spirewinder. So a 6/6 Death Touch and a 3/1 flyer. Or a 2/1. And we can deal with Tetsamok. We can just block it with the Dreadmaw. Oh, actually, they're going to get 2 Explore triggers here. So to keep that in mind. So we could give them the Revenant. I don't want to give them 2 of these big flyers. I think this is the way I'm going to do it. This may be wrong, but I feel like it gives them the least amount of power. Oh, you know what? They're going to blow up all of our creatures now. These counters are universal counters. I didn't think about that. It doesn't matter if it's from this Tetsamok or 10 other Tetsamoks. Okay. We get some counters here on our Harpy, so that's a good thing. Come on. And we get a pile of tokens, right? So I guess we should have... I didn't think about that. I thought about the way the Tetsamok works completely wrong. I should have just put it by itself and put the 3 flyers. They probably would have taken the 3 flyers, though. So I think either way we were going to kind of get messed up there. And they're going to gain just a ton of life here. We're going to go up to 20. Yeah, I don't think... I think this is over for us, unfortunately. Even with our 6/6 flyer. I don't think we're going to be able to recover. Although, again, we still have Impale. We can kill Tetsamok. Or we can kill their 3/1 flyer. Maybe we kill the Walker. When he attacks. Mark of the Vampire. So we kill the 5/7. Swing for 8. Lifelink in the air. Kill Tetsamok. And we swing for 8 lifelink in the air. This guy's just going to keep getting bigger. I guess we have to kill the Walker. We probably should have killed this Walker a long time ago. Get that guy out of here. Mark of the Vampire, the Harpy. Get the Soldier out. Swing for 8 lifelink. Maybe we can live here. Gotta swing at the Harpy. Our opponent's will swing for 7. And take 7. We got a blocker. Maybe we gotta send the Scoundrels well here. That's 10. Yeah, we're going to be able to live through this. I don't know. Maybe we get our opponent. Or they can just block with the Revenant if they want. Alright. Let's see what they've got. I guess it depends on what's in their hand. They have a piece of removal, Pounce, Tomb Robber. Oh my goodness, yeah. Tomb Robber with Wild Growth Walker. Okay, so they discard Migration. Don't blame them. Alright, what attacks have you got here? Attack with everything? Alright, so we are going to block, block, hold on a minute, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, go to 4, and then we swing with everything. No, I think that's way too risky. Okay, yeah, so we're going to block the 2-4, the 3-2, and Tetsamok. Yeah, I think it's way, way too greedy. If they play a creature here, we get blown out. I'm going to take 3, go to 15, get a whole bunch of triggers on the Harpy, which is fantastic. Now we're going to be gaining 10 life, even if they block with the Revenant. And we also can draw a card with the Arch. Reckless Rage. Did we just win? Did we just beat Tetsamok? Double Tetsamok? Do 4 to that. And we'll do 2 to the Dreadmaw. We'll gladly pay the 1 red. Uh-oh. What do they got? Gonna explore. What do they have that can take out the Harpy here? An Explore. Alright, he's going to keep exploring here. Trying to run our time out. Dark Nourish. That's the thing. Alright. Go ahead and attack. And attack. Let's hold back the Dreadmaw, I guess. Can't think of what they would have here. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we won that game. Oh! Okay, my heart is definitely racing there. Wow. Okay, our opponent definitely deserved to win that game because they just kept playing Tetsamok over and over and over and over again, and I don't know how much life they gained with this Wallgrowth Walker. Maybe if we had killed that creature earlier, we'd have been better off, but wow, I know it's a long match. I absolutely cannot believe we pulled that game out in the end. Okay, well, I'm going to go take a chill pill, and I'll see everyone back in the finals. Okay, round number 3 here, and looks like we're going to be on the draw for the first game. This is the hand we kept right here. It's kind of a loose keep, but we do have Dinosaur Hunter and Gleaming Barrier. We have a Swamp and the Arch. Again, it's kind of a loose keep, but we're on the draw, so we have 3 draw steps to hit a land. We have Impale to deal with any pesky creatures. The Barrier is going to block, and we have an attacker here as well. So we just need to hit a blue source. We have the Arch, so even if we kind of hit a bunch of swamps or mountains, we can start drawing some cards if we need to. So again, a little bit of a loose keep, but the fact that we have two drops here, I think it was fine. And our opponent kept their hand there, so we did draw a swamp, so we're looking better here. So pass back to our opponent, and they're going to play an island and a Guildgrove Stalker. We're hitting a Fathomfleet border, which is actually good, because now we can go Dinosaur Hunter into Fathomfleet border. So have kind of an aggressive start, for sort of a loose hand here. Opponent's going to get in for 2 because we can't block it, and they're going to play Jungleborn Pioneer, so it looks like we're playing against Merfolk. So we hit Reckless Rage. Not what we wanted to see. Considering at this point we're going to have to kill a Gleaming Barrier before we can even cast it. So we decide that since our hand is flooding, since our hand is running dry, we're going to pump the brakes. We're just going to play the Fathomfleet border and just pass the turn at this point, instead of sending in and getting punished, because we'd like to be able to double block this Stalker here. Okay, but our opponent is not going to allow that. They're just going to go ahead and pass the turn, so they've smelt out what we're doing here. We're drawing dry again, so we're just going to play the Gleaming Barrier, send it back to our opponent. End of turn, they play Swift Warden, so probably good that we weren't trying to get any attacks in there. We would have been, pretty punished with it. But good to note they have Swift Warden because it does give a Merfolk Hex proof, so that's a good trick against removal, like Reckless Rage or Impale. At this point, they slam the Mistbinder, and the game just went from, we're behind and we're in a little bit of trouble, but we can catch up because we have so much removal, to how do we mitigate as much damage as possible and pray that we draw the lands we need. So at this point, You know, our opponent water knot. That's right. Our opponent does water knot our Fathom Fleet border, which is kind of heartbreaking. At this point, this is pretty much it for the round or for the game. So they send their attacks in, and you know, just kind of think about it for a moment. Do we want to go ahead and block the Jungleborn Pioneer? Or excuse me, do we want to go ahead and block the 2/2 Merfolk with Dinosaur Hunter and then jump the Pioneer? Do we want to take it all? What do we want to do? Do we want to block the Pioneer with the barrier, you know, and take essentially 9 damage? So in my mind, after just kind of running through what's in the deck, the best scenario for me is to just block the 4/4 with the barrier so we can get our treasure token. Because what we're looking at here is we can actually impale the Mistbinder on our turn. If we draw a land, any land, we can actually impale and use the treasure token to Reckless Rage one of their other creatures here. So in my mind, that's the best play that's going to give us some sense of an opportunity where we may actually be able to get back in this game. And we drew a mountain. So at this point, we are just going to go ahead and impale the Mistbinder just to diminish their creature power so we can start trading and hopefully mitigating damage. Send it back to our opponent here. And they're going to play the Oracle. So take a moment here and pause and try to do the math on what happens if we Reckless Rage the Oracle, because if we allow our opponent to draw 3 cards, 3 or 4 cards this turn, there's no way we're going to be able to get back in this game. But we're at 10 life, so what happens if we take 5 damage here, or 6 damage, or 7 damage here? So unfortunately, we're not able to kill the Oracle just because if we do, there's nothing we can draw on the deck. There's no combination of cards we can draw on the deck that are going to keep us from dying the following turn. So we're going to have to let our opponent just draw a whole pile of cards here. So what we end up doing is we're going to block the Pioneer, and we're going to Reckless Rage the Swift Warden. So it's actually nice that the Fathom Fleet is still here and just water knotted because we can Reckless Rage. Okay, and that gives us just the most, you know, the best ability to hopefully stabilize a little bit. If we can get a big blocker here, you know, something that has 3 power, maybe we can put up a fight against these guys. But of course, they're getting a lot of card draw here, and immediately they're able to slam a 2/1 flyer. We hit Gleaming Barrier, still not dead. We're gonna play Gleaming Barrier, pass it back to our opponent. They play a Jade Guardian, put the token on their Apprentice. We're still not dead. We're gonna be at 1 life. We draw a pile of cards. There's really no way for us to get back in this game. We would need a card that's not in our deck. We need some kind of board wipe. And they're going to play Pioneer. At this point, I just go ahead and scoop. There's really no point in even drawing the card. But it is good to just let your opponent, if you're losing a game and time isn't really, you know, a problem for you. I mean, we still have 17 minutes worth of our clock here. And your opponent wants to keep showing you cards in their deck. Like at this point, they didn't need to show us this card. There's really no reason. But they showed it to us anyway. So now we have more information, and we can see they've got multiple Jungleborn Pioneers, and we get to see a big chunk of their deck here unnecessarily, which is fine. It's not like this is a game-changing card. Well, excuse me, this is a very powerful card. It is game-changing, but it's not like this is a busted, broken rare, you know, or a crazy mythic that you're going to play late game to just turn the tide of the game in your favor. But it's still information. It's still good to see what your opponent has in their deck. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the second game of this round. Okay, we're going to be on the play for the second game. And our opening hand here, it's kind of an aggressive hand. I actually like that it's got the Kitesail Corsair because we can kind of get in some early damage against our opponent. And then the Dinosaur Hunter combined with the Skullduggery will allow us to pick off a couple of their creatures. Plus we've got plenty of land to cast all of our spells, so I think this is a fine keep. We go ahead and keep it here. And our opponent actually leads right out of the gate with a Kumina Speaker, which is just a very, very strong start. Because we know they're going to play an island on the following turn. We're going to have a 2/2 and then another creature coming online. But we actually hit Sailor Remains, so that's a good draw for us. We're going to stick to the plan, play the Corsair, send it back to our opponent. They're going to get in for their 2 here. And then they play a Mistcloak Herald, which isn't a huge problem for us. We can always Skullduggery it if we need to. And now we can get an R2, play Sailor Remains. We got a brick wall for the Speaker. We're going to start taking 1 from the Herald, but not a problem. And they play Deep-Root Waters, which doesn't do anything this turn, but it is going to add a lot of value to their cheap Merfolk for us the game, so not great for us. Alright, we're hitting some more land here. So we're just kind of staying with the plan. We're going to take with the Corsair, play the Dino Hunter, send it back to our opponent. So we sort of shut down their ground game right now, but they have the Mistcloak, so they can start getting to that point of damage every turn if they have anything to, you know, bump the power level on it. But they're actually going to play an Apprentice, which is a 2/1 flyer, which is going to shut down our air plan here. So we've probably found the target for Skullduggery at this point. Plus they get the extra value of getting a 1/1 Merfolk. We're hitting a lot of land here. So decide to go ahead and attack. And before blockers, just go ahead and Skullduggery. 1/1 for the Hunter and -1/-1 for the Apprentice. That way we can get our air power in. And then we could have done the +1/+1 to the Kitesail Corsair. But I like the idea that either our opponent is going to take 3, or they're going to trade for both creatures if they want to kill this one. More than likely, they're just going to block the 3/3 with the 1/1 token, which is fine as well. It's one less Merfolk we have to deal with, especially since we only have 3 cards in hand. So that goes through, and then our opponent actually goes ahead and double blocks, which makes sense because they still have that added value of Deep Root Waters. But that's fine for us. It takes more of the pressure off the board, especially since we're flooding here. So our opponent gets in the 1, and they play a Stalker, get their token. We draw Sworn Guardian, which is fine. It's going to block their 1/1 tokens, but it doesn't block the Stalker. So at this point, we can attack with the Corsair and Sailor Means, play our Sworn Guardian, and just pass it back to our opponent. Because we can't block the Goat Grove Stalker, because we're just not drawing any of our bigger creatures. And then I've got the Seafloor Oracle again. So this is a big problem for us, because they have 2 unblockable creatures. So we're going to be taking a Lightning Bolt, and they're going to be drawing 2 cards every turn, which is painful. And they even got an extra Merfolk token out of it as well. So just value all around. All their creatures make more creatures. All their creatures draw them cards. So very, very good synergy here. And we got some more land. So now we're just going to send in the Corsair. We're going to drop a land and pass it back to our opponent, just so we have enough permanents for a send if we do hit one of our flyers, because the 3/4 flyer would definitely change the tide of this game. Our opponent's just going to stick to their plan and play Jade Guardian. They're going to pump up their unblockable guy. They're going to send in their 4. They're going to draw a bunch of cards. They got a bunch more of the 1/1 tokens. And we draw another land here. So the same for us. All we can do is attack with the Corsair, send it back to our opponent. And at this point, our opponent shows us their trump card. Okay, and there you go. That's going to be it for our Rivals of Ixalan draft. We did lose our last game here against our opponent. They had just the ultra-aggressive Merfolk deck. They had all the nuts and bolts that you want to have for this deck. They've got all the cheap creatures. They've got the Oracle, so they can just fill their hand up. They had the Mistbinder in Game 1, where they're able to just make all their guys bigger, so just get maximum value for all these little 1/1 Merfolk tokens. Deeper Waters is fantastic in their deck, since the only card that we saw that weren't Merfolk spells was Strength of the Pack. Well, and Deeper Waters too, but obviously that doesn't count. But yeah, just excellent deck from our opponent here. Unfortunately, in the second game, we weren't really able to compete with them too much, because we did flood pretty heavily here. We started with Dinosaur Hunter, Skullduggery, and the Corsair. We only drew 2 spells for the rest of the game. We have 9 lands, so we weren't able to keep up, and Strength of the Pack is just a blowout. With that in mind, that this was coming, it's going to be a hard game for us anyway. Of course, our opponent did get to draw, I believe, 6 extra cards in this game, so there's just so much value in the Merfolk deck. And our deck definitely needs a couple turns to kind of stabilize and get some of those flyers in the air, and just kind of chip away your health and block up the ground. But that seems kind of like the trend we've had with a few of these drafts here, where you have some good games in matches 1 and 2. And then I've actually had probably 2 drafts in the last 2 weeks where my 3rd round is just against these Merfolk deck, these undefeated Merfolk deck that are just, well, they do exactly what you need them to do. Is you got a lot of these common cards, a couple uncommons, but a lot of these common cards that just synergize very well together. They're very aggressive, and they punish your opponent if they're not aggressive, or able to remove your quick, cheap threats. But anyway, that's part of the fun. Get to see these decks. Maybe we'll get the opportunity to draft a really cool Merfolk deck. We haven't drafted one of those in a while, so given the opportunity, we'll definitely jump into one of those. They're a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be the aggressive player. But anyway, that's going to be it for our Rivals Ixalan draft today. I hope everyone enjoyed watching all of the picks. Hope you enjoyed watching all the rounds. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time.